fighter. I think he's amazing. I think he has great technique. He has crazy knockout power.
We all know Tank best weight is 35, 40. You fought Barrios at 40, 35, 40. And you fight Jake Paul, who getting better. I'm like I said, and he got 6 feet tall. Where Tank gonna hit him?
Gervonta "Tank" Davis kicked off his first day of training camp for the Jake Paul showdown with explosive intensity. During pad work, Davis unleashed a blistering 35-punch combination that highlighted his trademark speed and knockout power. His sharp movements and precise execution sent a clear message. He's locked in and ready for business. Fans and analysts alike viewed the session as a warning to Paul. Davis is preparing to overwhelm him with experience, discipline, and relentless pressure. Davis also stirred excitement online by posting to Instagram, "See y'all soon. I guess ATL gonna be two-turned." He followed with another pointed remark, "Tell them to send that bag and I'm coming." Beyond hype, the posts underlined two things: his eagerness to return to the ring and his demand for proper respect on the business side. In today's boxing landscape, where fighters balance legacy with financial security, Tank's words resonated as more than casual bravado. They were a declaration of worth.
Don't cheat on vegetable boy.
Ambition and intent. Even before this fight was official, Davis made his feelings about Jake Paul clear. He once dismissed Paul's boxing efforts as trash, echoing the skepticism many professionals hold toward celebrities entering combat sports. Davis argued that Paul likely picked up boxing simply because he grew bored of YouTube and other ventures. His criticism captured the ongoing clash between purists and the entertainment-driven wave of newcomers. Still, Paul's persistence has forced the boxing world to take notice. The fact that Davis is now facing him proves how far Paul has come.
I text that again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start streaming out that, and that, stop it, knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them to send that bag, and I'm coming. And I'm, you know.
Transforming what once seemed like a novelty into one of the most talked about events in the sport. The Davis versus Paul fight has sparked heated debate across boxing circles. For some, the matchup confirms fears that the sport has shifted from being legacy-driven to spectacle-driven. Critics argue it diminishes boxing's integrity, branding it a circus act rather than a true test between elite athletes. Yet others point out that boxing has always thrived at the intersection of sport and entertainment. From Muhammad Ali's showmanship to Mike Tyson's pay-per-view dominance, spectacle has always fueled its appeal. Whether this fight is...
What you think of former athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing? You think that grows the sport?
If he's doing it for the right reason, actually want to do it because of just like actually want to box, it's cool. But if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored at what they want, what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
For sure. That's all I got. Thank you, bro.
Sure. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Remembered as a mockery or a money-making spectacle will depend on how fans interpret the balance between legacy and show business. Former super middleweight contender Jesse Hart fired back at critics targeting Davis for taking the fight. Hart insisted that Tank isn't betraying boxing's tradition, but simply navigating the modern business. Tank has every right to prioritize financial opportunities, even if some want to call it a circus, Hart said. His defense highlighted the split even among fighters themselves. Some argue Davis should be chasing legacy bouts against names, like Shakur Stevenson or Teofimo Lopez. Others see the Paul matchup as
Boxing has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder, nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
smart business, leveraging global recognition for massive paydays. Hart frames it not as a sellout move, but as a fighter knowing his value and making strategic choices. Boxing commentator Andy Ross shocked fans with a bold prediction: Jake Paul will win. While acknowledging Davis's pedigree, Ross argued that Paul's size advantage and unorthodox style could tilt the fight in his favor. He added that the matchup itself is a great opportunity for both men, but insisted Paul's self-belief and awkward unpredictability can't be underestimated.
Circus, man, that's the circus. If you want to join the circus, that's the circus. I don't see the value. I just see money involved in that. If they want the money, if that's what they want to do, then go ahead and go ahead and get the money. But other than that, I'm not. You got a guy, Jake Paul, that's what, 6'3", 6'4", almost. Then you got a guy, Gervonta Davis, that's like 5'5", a little guy. Yeah. Y'all gonna try to, who's 200 pounds, who's just for Mike Tyson there, I'm gonna throw him in there with a 135. It's just a circus, and that's what they want to do to get money, to generate money in the sport of boxing instead of Gervonta Davis. This is a legacy fight. He was supposed to fight Lamont Rope after this, and then he say, no. Think about it. You really can't say too much. When you say Gervonta Tank Davis and you say Lamont Roach, it's still a question mark on that fight. It was still a question mark on that rumble. You just gonna leave it and then go right to the money and say, no, I ain't. That's how you know legacy and everything don't matter. I did that before. I took the money with the Joe Smith fight when my hand was fucked up and, excuse my language, my hand was messed up, broke in training camp, and I still said, yo, no, I'm taking that, I'm still fighting him. I'm not gonna not fight him again. We're fighting him, Dad. We're fighting him, Rick. We're fighting him, Fred. I went against everybody. Jesse, don't take the fight, man. Let your hand heal. Let's get the surgery. No, I'm fighting him. It's too close. We 3 weeks out. I'm fighting him.
His take may be unpopular, but it echoes a growing sentiment that Paul deserves more credit than the boxing world is willing to give. Even if most analysts favor Davis, Ross's prediction adds intrigue to a fight already shrouded in questions. Not everyone is convinced the fight will even happen. Veteran coach Bernie dismissed the matchup entirely, saying he doesn't believe it will materialize, not even as an exhibition. For him, the fight lacks purpose and credibility, serving more as hype than substance. His skepticism reflects a broader hesitation in boxing when it—
More things for Lego. Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Davis.
Crazy.
Your thoughts on this?
I have locks with Snaggy right there. I think Jake Paul wins that fight. You're way, look, obviously Gervonta Davis has way more experience. He's a hell of a fighter. He's done so much more for boxing and you know, than a lot of people. But to say that, you know, that's not, everyone's gonna want to watch that fight. I think it's a genius idea. I think Jake Paul sets the craziest expectations, and I think he sets the bar so high now in the boxing world. Jake Paul revived boxing. You know, people can say what they want to say about it, but Jake Paul really revived the sport of boxing. You know, Joe Rogan once said previously, not so long ago, but he did speak about how boxing would eventually die out and all the eyes would shift to MMA. And it's true. I sit there, I'll watch UFC whenever there's an amazing pay-per-view event. I'm always watching it. Boxing, I don't really watch it as much. And yeah, you can call me a casual to the sport. I'm just getting into it. But the people that are just getting into the sport, UFC is like the new boxing, what it was 20, 30 years ago. So Jake Paul is changing and reviving the sport of boxing, in my opinion. But I think that Jake Paul wins that fight. I love Gervonta as a fighter. I think he's amazing. I think he has great technique. He has crazy knockout power. Don't underestimate him.
You've spoken to him before, haven't you?
Yeah.
When you're doing it was you and Ron Garcia and Gervonta and Tank when they were both fighting.
Yeah. I just spoke with Gervonta today, actually. So when I get back to Miami, him and I might do something. I don't know. But, you know, I think, like I said, don't count him out. But I think Jake Paul wins that fight.